Morning. All right, this is about as good as I've gotten the camera to look from this angle. So hopefully it's all right on your end. It's a little bit dull. I purchased the ND filter for the lens. That were some of the recommendations that you guys gave me, so I appreciate that. I also bought some sound deadening panels for the wall. Yeah, it's a little dull. You can see how it's like a little bit dulled out. You can sort of see the darkness, but this is I've moved the computer like 10 times. Like 10 times. I'm not even kidding. I've moved it to this side, to that side, to like over this side, all the way to the left. It's been a little bit of a process. But hopefully, I think this looks the best. I think this looks the best so far. I need to find a place to keep it in one spot, just for convenience purposes. I can't be moving stuff all the time, making live streams every day and videos. So, trying to find its home. Eagles flag in the background. Yeah, I'm getting a haircut today, Gareth. I know. Getting a haircut today. We got lights everywhere. You just can't see them on the screen. Yeah, you're right, J-Hoss. Oh, that tree's moved about 20 times as well. All right. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another stream. Welcome back to another day. Hopefully you guys had a good day yesterday. Yesterday was, again, a very nice setup of a day. I mean, there was some really nice stocks, really nice individual stock setups. That Amazon 87 rejection was sick. That Microsoft downside was nice. So a lot of nice stuff. A lot of nice individual setups. However, the market just did absolutely nothing again. Submit tickers. You have to either be a member of the YouTube channel, which you can go down below. It says join here or join, or it's in the chart Discord. If you're part of the trading community, you can always just reach out to me and ask for something you want to look at. All right. So, yeah, look, see, it's getting dark again. See, it gets darker and lighter. We'll see. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I know. The window's bright. I can close it, but let's see what happens. A little better. Not really. Whatever. We'll just continue on our journey as we find the right angle. All right. So yesterday, nice stuff. Nice movement on some individual names, and yeah, let's get started today. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I know I'll never satisfy everyone. I know. I try my best, but it's gonna be hard to satisfy everyone. Futures, economic earnings calendar. Today we definitely do have some pretty major economic news coming out in the pre-market. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Here we go. So economic news today, I guess, could be more influential than yesterday, because yesterday we just didn't move. I mean, yesterday, once again, we just did not move. We found very little movement off of the FOMC minutes. We got a little bit of up, we got a little bit of down, and overall it was just an event to just stay away from. So I took no trades as usual. I do not like trading in that type of environment, right? It's very difficult. You don't quite know what the next minute holds. You can move straight down, go straight back up, and that's pretty much what you saw, right? You saw some extreme chop after FOMC came out without any key level breaks. So again, we are still stuck in that channel. Today, maybe, Jay Price, thanks, man. $5 for coffee. I appreciate you. Today, maybe a little bit more activity, hopefully. ADP employment report at 8:15, so in about 10 minutes we'll have that. Jobless claims at 8:30, trade deficit at 8:30, U.S. services PMI at 9:45, and then you got James Bullard speaking today at 1:10. Very strange time. Tomorrow, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, labor force participation. So this will be pretty big as well. So I'm just hoping for us to break out of this channel, guys. That's really what I'm looking for. I actually encourage the economic news right now because I would like to see some type of actual action on this market. Hopefully either today or tomorrow, we start to see some moves off this economic news. So that's that. That's definitely something to watch out for today. Not much. I think earnings are pretty much over, right? I don't think we got anything on the earnings calendar. I haven't even looked at it in a long time. Let me pull it up real quick and see. Yeah, we're getting back into it sort of later this month. So I'll pull that up real quick. We're getting back into some earnings later this month. So here's your earnings calendar for January. Not much, the first few days here. The big stuff, I think this is your first bank day. If you guys are familiar with how earnings sort of work, it's very I think it happens every time. It sort of kicks off with the banks. And that looks like it's the 13th of January. So Citibank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you got BNY Mellon, BlackRock, Delta in there, JP Morgan. So that's your big first day. That's your kickoff day of earnings. And then the week after that, middle of January, you start to get heavy. Netflix, that's the first big one. Hey, Interactive Brokers, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. Interactive Brokers might... I saw this online. Their financials might get affected by them changing that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the free riding cash accounts, where the instant cash settlement for cash accounts, their financials might be affected by that because of, I'm sure a lot of people overtrade in cash accounts, and a lot of commissions roll in because of that, and them taking away that opportunity for cash accounts may affect their commission financials. So that's interesting. After that, you got, Teslas, and you get some decent ones here later in January. So earnings, not yet, but definitely coming up in the later half of January. So watch out for that. All right. Nvidia 150, key level I'm watching today on Nvidia. Apple in a very tight range. I think this is important to watch as well. Netflix had a nice push yesterday. Netflix pushed over a pretty important, hold on one second. Netflix pushed over a pretty important 300 level yesterday, so I think we should watch out for that. I think that's an important one to watch. Meta, over 124.50. This is a big break for Meta that may possibly have some continuation depending on what the market does, of course. So let's keep an eye on that one. Amazon, 87. Pretty awesome 87 rejection yesterday. Caught that very nicely. Posted the live trade on Instagram and, everywhere else I post those live trades in the Discord as well. So if you want to watch that, that's there. You can follow me on Instagram. I post the live trades there. Amazon 87. I'm going to watch it again today. Why not? Costco and Home Depot weekly charts are very interesting. CH, if you're watching in the Discord, thanks for pointing that out. That was a good watch on the weekly on Home Depot. I want to keep an eye on that one. And then Microsoft. Microsoft had a very ugly day yesterday off of its downgrade. I'm looking for it to have a little bit of a fake bounce. Fake bounce into the previous retest level. Could be a nice setup. So these are the tickers that I have here on the stream, on the schedule, are really the only ones that I'm watching today. I don't really like anything else besides these names. We'll pop around into some other stocks that I'm watching, but these stocks that I've posted here are actual trade setups that I'm looking at. Everything else just sort of is iffy, especially with what the market's doing. The market is just so sideways. So let's get started. Thanks again for being here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the streams as always, and let's do it. So, NASDAQ. I really don't have much to report on the NASDAQ and ES, simply because of just how stuck we've been. So the levels that I post every day have not changed. They've stayed very true. The levels have been very true. The levels have been very much respected, and I really don't have much to update you on. So the first thing, again, we just have to watch that 11,070, right? You guys can see right here, 11,070. This is obviously a key level. You have the rejection that came in back on Thursday. You have the rejection that came in yesterday, and you're starting to slightly reject it here in the pre-market today. So 11,070, that's our first level to watch. Of course, we'll see if it gets respected after the economic news this morning. We have employment report in about 4 minutes, so we'll see if that changes anything. But 11,070 and then 11,180. That's really it, right? In the short term, those are your big rejection levels in the short term. And then if you zoom out, you're watching the major level, which is back here up at around 11.4, right? The major level is back up here around 11.4, and we haven't even had an attempt at that level yet. So you got 11.4, huge rejection point up here. You have these intermediary rejection points around this 11,180 and 11,070. So you're going to need, I think if you can get a move over 11,180, I think that will cause a little bit of an upside trigger. maybe up towards this 11.4. That would be something I would watch if you can get over 11.180, but we have not seen any signs of that even being attempted yet. So clearly stuck under 11,070. If you can get above that, you'll probably squeeze to 11,180. If you get above that, you'll probably squeeze up to the 11.4. To the downside, if you reject this 11,070 again, then you're coming back down probably, in this general area. You have 11,000 or 10,800, 10,700. This whole bottom area just seems to be holding this market up, right? You can see how many times we've sort of, we sort of dipped down into this 11 or 10,008, 10,850, and just sort of got bought up. So very tight range, right? Very tight range. No movement. You have some intraday rejections, intraday bounces, but nothing of importance. So as of right now, the levels remain the same. ES. Same exact thing, right? Look at this range on the ES. How long has this been? 1, 2. So you're going on 3 weeks now. You're going on 3 weeks within this 3,800 to 3,920 channel on the ES. I really don't have much else I could tell you. All I could tell you is watch the 3,920, 3,900, and watch all these moving averages. That's really all I could say. You have the 100, you have the 20, the 50, and the 100 SMA sitting right there at 3,900 and 3,920. So this is obviously going to be a very difficult area to get through, right? This whole 3,900 to 3,920, obviously that's going to be very difficult to break through. If you break through it, right, let's just say sometime in the future we break through it, that I think will cause a pretty aggressive upside move. That would be the aggressive move you're looking for if you can actually get above 3,920. If you get above 3,920, then I'm assuming you'll probably push towards the 4,000 area. All right, you'll have a little bit of a squeeze over that, maybe up towards this 4,200 SMA. But you got to wait to see it, right? You can't take trades here in anticipation of that happening because clearly it has not happened. So channel stuck, nothing to report, right? 3,800, 3,920. If you move to the downside, 3,800. If you break 3,800, if you break 3,800, I mean, you're probably looking around the 35s, right? That's probably your next level on the weekly, around this 3,500. But yeah, it's just it's a chop fest. So I would say if you move to the downside, 3,800, and then under 3,800, it gets aggressive. Let's see, what do we get? So we got the employment report. So we'll see if there's anything big here. Let me pull up the numbers. Okay, ADP non-farm employment change actual 235 versus 127. Oh wow, that's a big increase. 235 versus 150. Estimated was 150. That's a big increase, and that's not in your way. It's not. You can't see that. Down at the bottom here. So that should be. That in what we've seen recently, a employment increase would imply a downside or bearish sentiment for the market, right? That's what the market has taught to us as of late. Better jobs market, worse for the market, right? Better jobs market, more people working, bearish for the market. That's what we've been trained to believe, right? So that's what we're getting, right? You got employment change, a big increase. I mean, almost 100%, right? What is that? That's 240. Yeah, about 100% increase. 100% increase on the employment. So that's obviously why you're getting that red candle there on the ES. Okay, so that's the first news that comes out today, and I would take that as bearish. So we'll see if that continues. Okay, but again, right? Look, we can't get too look, right? We have to zoom out. these types of moves just don't do anything. So this type of move, it needs to, the only time you can get, real aggressive, like, okay, here we go, this is the next move, I would say is the break of 3,800. If we can get something like this, right, then I would get real aggressive. But until then, you got to be very cautious within this range, right? You got to be very cautious within this range, okay? So that's your first look. ES, range, NASDAQ, range. The NASDAQ, I like this rejection play potentially off the 11,070, right? I like that. So I would watch 11,070 today. Dow Jones, same thing, just stuck in this channel, rejecting this high, 33,005, right? You guys can see right here. 33,500, very clearly a rejection point. 50 and 20 SMA right there. You're getting a little bit of a higher low formation here, but could this just be a bear flag setup? Yeah, could be, right? You're getting a little bit of a bear flag into a previous or into a supply level. So, yeah, keep an eye on that on the Dow. Dow Jones bear flagging into supply, stuck under 33.5. If we cannot get above 33.5, I would say this continues to weaken. So 33.5, 50 and 20 SMA channel, right? I'm not gonna talk on it that long because it's just a channel. Same thing on the Russell, right? Same thing on the Russell. Can't get over 1,800. Channel trade, stuck under supply, and it's been doing that for 3 weeks now, right? So support, rejection, 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 rejection. If you're at the top of a rejection, right? If you're at the supply, your best risk reward trade would be to the downside, right? So when you come into a day and you're looking like this, right? You're looking at the top of the channel. You're pretty much at the top, maybe slightly off of it. Your best risk to reward is always going to be to the downside. So, I mean, that's definitely something I'll keep in mind today. If we are going to be sort of chilling at the top side of the range, I'll look to see if we can trade it back to the bottom side. Just because when you consider risk to reward, that's really the best trade possible. The risk to reward is always going to be greater to the downside when you're trading at the top side of a range. So that's what I would watch today. Again, I'm sorry I don't have more to give you, but the market has been completely sideways for 3 weeks now, and we just have to continue to trade the range at this point. Yeah, the NASDAQ is definitely makes the most sense here. I think the NASDAQ is pretty clear that, you can definitely see this rejection coming off 10.7 and maybe another downside move towards 1170, and then maybe another move down towards this 10.800, 10.850. That's something I'd look for today. All right, so channel trade. If there's anything you learned from, this looks good. If there's anything you learned from 2020, it should be how to trade a channel. This looks fantastic. I wish this wasn't happening right now, but I like this a lot. Nvidia, break and retest 149 again. Definitely keeping an eye on this one today. This could be a sick trade again. So you got the big rejection off 149, 150 on Tuesday. You crawled back up into it yesterday on some really weak action. And if we reject here again, I will definitely be looking for this downside move. So, yeah, definitely Nvidia. I think this is going to be your favorite watch today, or at least my favorite watch is going to be the 149, 150 rejection on Nvidia right here. Not only that, you have the 100 SMA sitting there, right? 100 SMA, big time supply up here, previous double bottom into maybe a double top. I would absolutely be looking to play this, maybe back down to the channel low. So, yeah, that's going to be my top watch today. Nvidia right here. Push up into this 149 again. Weak push, low volume. I mean, volume was okay, but if we can see downside on the market, definitely watching that. We'll obviously see what happens in 9 minutes if there's any change to on the jobless claims. Is it jobless claims? What is it? Sorry. Yeah, jobless claims. If there's any change, then we'll see if if this is still respected. If jobless claims pushes us through, then obviously we can't respect that anymore. But if it's under 149 at open, I will absolutely be looking for this rejection play on Nvidia. Okay. Apple, I'm liking this as well on Apple. If we go to the 15-minute chart, look at what's setting up here on Apple. Very similar, right? What are we looking at? We're looking at a previous low right here, that is turning into a rejection point. Rejection, and look at what's happening here in the pre-market today. Rejection. So if Apple wants to continue to be weak, if the market wants to continue to move to the downside, then I am definitely looking to see if I can play off this 128 level, right? 128, double top, previous support into a double top, definitely a level that I want to be looking to play off of. The only concern I have with Apple is the potential support that steps in here around 126. All right, if we go to the 5-minute chart, we can see yesterday's price action. So you just have to take these clues from yesterday's price action. Look at what happened, every time we got in this general area, 125.40, 126. Every time we bounced down into this level, there was some very strong buyers that appeared, right? Here, once again here, and again right here. So if you are short, right, you can't just hold through this and hope that it breaks through. You have to understand, okay, if I get this move and we take some profits here, if we do get the break, then maybe this looks even better. But if you are going to go short on Apple up at this 128, you got to be careful of this 125.40 area. That could be an area of support. So I do like the overall setup. I like the break and retest. If you look at the 15-minute chart here, I like this break and retest. I like the previous lows into a double top rejection. I like the potential for a little bear flag breakdown here. I like this a lot, but we have to be careful of the 125.40. Either way, I would be watching Apple. Okay. Netflix. Netflix got over 300. Netflix got over 300. So what are we looking for today? I personally would look for a retest of 300. That would be the only trade I'd really be interested in. If Netflix can pull back to 300, if it starts to do something like this, over the next few days, then maybe we can trade this again, right? Maybe we can trade this again on Netflix. If we can get a pullback, a retest of 300, if Netflix wants to continue to outperform this market, because this is a big outperformance day on Netflix, I will look for the pullback to the 20 SMA and the 300 level. If we can turn 300 into support, I will look to potentially trade that long off that level. So strong outperformance on Netflix. It has been doing that. It held the 275 level very nicely. You guys can see right here, 275 held very nicely, but push above 300. That's a key psychological level, key rejection point. Can we turn it into support once again like we did here? That's what I would look for on Netflix. 300 pullback. I would not try to chase Netflix. It might go up again today if the market moves higher, but I would wait for the pullback. Wait for a better trade entry. Meta. So Meta was another outperformer. All right, we have another outperforming name on Meta, and that was a move above 124.50. So 124.50 was this little double bottom back here. You can see one here, and then look at the rejections that came in. Rejections. So we clearly know 124.50 was a very key level of interest. Right? We can clearly see the reactions that went on at 124.50. So yesterday, we got through it. Yesterday, we popped above 124.50. And today, we need to see if there is a pullback, does it hold, right? If this holds here, then we are turning a previous rejection point into support, right? We are turning a previous double top rejection point into support if that happens, right? If that sets up. Can we turn 124.50 double top into support today? That's what I would be watching. Did it fill the gap on the daily? What was the low of this gap? 128.53. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it filled the gap. Fully filled the gap. So there you go. If you've been waiting for Meta to fill the gap, there you go. It just did it. All right, it just finally did it. So how long did that take? Let's see. For those that out there that are interested in gap fills, let's see how long did it take. The gap down started on October 27th. It is January 5th. So what did that take? About 2 months, 2 months and a little bit for this to work out. So finally, you got your gap fill on Meta. We'll see. Does it reject there? Right? Is this where it starts to reject at the gap fill? The gap fill level is, I'm going to put it on my chart, 128.53. Thanks for pointing that out, Mike. 128.53 is your gap fill level. So look at where Yeah, you can see. Look at where Meta slowed down yesterday. It's pretty much the exact level right there. 128.53 was your gap fill level, and look at where Meta started to reject yesterday. Literally right at that level there. So, yeah, I would say look to see if Meta rejects the gap fill. If it's unable to get above the gap fill level, I would look for a pullback to 124.50 today. If it does not hold 124.50, then I would look for continuation to the downside. If it does hold 124.50, turns it into support, then you might be able to see if it wants to try to turn bullish again off that level. So that's what I would watch. Thanks for pointing that out, Mike. I would say watch the gap fill level at 128.50, right? And then I would watch the previous double top at 124.50. So about a $4 range here. Amazon, 87, man. Amazon 87. What a level this has been. So yesterday, we traded just a literally right at open rejection on Amazon. We got pretty much this entire thing right here. So Amazon, look at that 1 minute chart. Look at that 1 minute candle off 87 yesterday. Absolutely gorgeous. So we wicked up. We had a huge rejection at 87. The 20 SMA as well. Our supply level that we were watching in the pre-market live stream and in the Discord, nailed that and just sort of traded this thing back to the downside. What a trade. What an awesome way to start yesterday. So that was clean. So why not watch it again, right? Why not watch it again? So today, you did slightly get above 87, but 87 is still very much a level. So today, what would I look for? I would look to see, does Amazon try to bounce back into 87? And if it does, can we play another rejection here? Can we play another rejection off 87? That's pretty much all I'm looking for today. Can Amazon get weak again under this key level? So hourly chart. Here's the hourly once again. If Amazon can get weak under 87, maybe I could trade something like this. Maybe I can start to get this breakdown if the market is weak. So watching that off 87 today for sure. All right, let's see what the market does here for jobless claims. Here's our upper and lower range right here, right? This is our upper range, lower range, and we're just sort of stuck in the black hole in the middle. So we'll wait for these jobless claims number. Okay, a little bit of downside there. Get a little sip of Celsius. Cheers. Waiting for the numbers here. Obviously, something the market is not liking. Trade deficit, 6.61 versus 63. So the trade deficit's actually lower. Market's sort of moving lower, but nothing wild. Jobless claims, 204 versus 225. So that would feed into the bearish sentiment, right? Celsius sponsorship. Yeah, I mean, jobless claims being lower would just feed into the same, ADP employment report being higher. It's pretty much, double whammy on the jobs market still being strong, right? I like to put Celsius powder in the water. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Freddie. All right, so jobless claims lower, ADP employment rate or employment numbers higher, jobs market still strong. Basically, that's what I would just take away from it. Jobs market still strong. A strong jobs market makes it more difficult for Mr. Jerome Powell. That's how I would think of this. That's the rudimentary way to think about it. There's obviously the economic in-depth analysis. What do you whatever you want to think. The thing that matters to me is jobs market still strong. That does not fit into Jerome Powell. That does not fit into the Fed easing at all. And that would probably show more downside, right? Or that would at least keep us weak, right? It all depends on how much the market is already expecting that, but that would at least keep us weak. That is definitely not a catalyst for a breakout of 39.20. Let's put it that way. The numbers we've gotten are definitely not a catalyst for a breakout of 39.20. Let's just put it that way. All right, so yeah, and I think they said yesterday they don't. What did they say on FOMC that they're very cautious of cutting too soon. So I think that was a little bit of a bearish thing as well. So yep, a little bit of downside. All the levels that we were watching should still be in play. Nvidia off of 149 should be a very nice. Should be a very nice setup. I like that a lot. Amazon off 87 could be a very nice setup. I like that a lot. Apple off of that 128 level could be very nice here. I like that as well. Let's continue. Meta. If Meta can get back to 124, look to see what happens there. And yeah, let's keep on going here. So next one I want to go is actually Microsoft. And Microsoft might not give us this opportunity. I would love to see it give us this opportunity, but if the market stays weak, it might not give us this opportunity. I would love to see Microsoft do this. If Microsoft did this, I would be all over it. I mean, I would go pretty heavy at this level on the downside. So I don't know if it's going to give us that, right? To get Microsoft back up here is going to require a strong market. That's 3.5% on Microsoft. That's going to be something that will need to be backed by a strong NASDAQ. As of right now, I'm not seeing a strong NASDAQ, so I don't know if Microsoft is going to retrace back to this level, but at any point in the future, if you see Microsoft start to trade at 234, do not think bullish, right? This is what I talked about in yesterday's live stream. I don't know if it was yesterday or maybe it was Tuesday. When the market moves higher, right, when a stock like, let's just say Microsoft moves higher, people start to get tunnel vision. They do not remember what the overall larger term trade idea was, right? We could say here today, okay, let's look for the retest. And if we get to the retest, let's look to short that thing. But let's go a day in the future, right? Let's all think a day in the future. And we're sitting on our charts like this, right, on the 1 minute, right? Let's say, oh, by accident, I deleted this level. I forgot about this level. Oh, it's gone, okay? This is what happens. Microsoft's popping up into 234, and people are like, oh, here we go. We got a little pullback, maybe a little 9 EMA pullback, right? We'll break and retest on the short term, something along those lines. We're just hypothetically thinking here. And they're like, okay, I'm going to go long here, right? I'm going to go long here, because they're focused on the 1 minute chart, and then, right, where they're going long into is the exact level that you originally told yourself that you would go short at, the week prior. And then, and then you see this happen. Bam. So if you get an upside move here, I would be very cautious trading the upside personally. This is just me. I'm just sharing with you what my thoughts are. You could disagree if you want. I would not trade this upside. I would let the upside come in, and I would wait to see and use your brain power. Use your what's a good word for this? Use your patience and your brain power to formulate an entry on the downside here, right? Rather than trying to chase the upside, just sit there patiently. Start to watch. Start to get an idea of what the price action's looking like, and then look to see, okay, is there a rejection that starts to come in here, right? Do I start to see this rejection come in at this 234.50? If so, right, looking for that downside. So just a little talk there. It might not work out, but I figured I'd share that with you. I've done this a lot myself, right, where I'll look for a retest to the downside, and it'll get back into that retest, and I find myself, I've already flipped my bias, right? I've done this plenty of times where I'll see Microsoft move higher, I'll flip my bias, and then I'll forget about the original trade plan. And then, the next week I'll look back at Microsoft and be like, holy shit, like, why didn't I just trade the original game plan that I had? So, yeah, that's what I would watch on Microsoft. If we get more downside, just, straight out of the gates, I would say Microsoft back into 225 looks to be where it's probably headed. So that's about $2 a share lower from this point. 225. If you break 225, right? Things could get a little bit nasty here. If you break 225, you could probably move to the 223s. And then under this, I mean, a lot of dark space under there. So watch out. Would love to see a fake bounce, though. Would love to see a fake bounce. Tesla. What's Tesla doing? Yeah, I tried to find a trade on Tesla today, but I really just don't like it. Actually, you know what? Now it's sort of showing up. Hold on. I found it. I was looking to see if this level would react today, and it looks like it's starting to, actually. So right here, right, these previous highs from Wednesday, they look to be coming in pretty aggressively. Look at that. Right at 115, 114.50. You guys see all these wicks that showed up on Wednesday of last week, right? Wick rejection, wick rejection, wick rejection. This is where we did squeeze above. We got back under. Look at this break and retest, man. Oh, man, that looks good. Look at that. Break, retest, retest of the previous triple top, wick rejection. Look at that bear flag that's setting up. Yeah, definitely a watch. Definitely a watch. I would like to see this do something like this before open, hopefully, before it just dies. I would hope it doesn't just die on us. The train might leave without us here. That's sort of what it looks like it's doing. The train might be leaving. But if we can get some type of little fake bounce here, look at that little break and retest, guys. Break, retest, retest of the previous triple top. That's a sexy chart. I would watch this. I would watch this today. Definitely. All right. Wanted to point out Home Depot's weekly. I don't love it in a weak market though, so I might take this back. I don't quite love this if the market is. Ow, my fucking neck. I don't know what happened to my neck. I think I've been working out too hard. Yeah, straight to the downside, no breaks. This weekly chart on Home Depot looks interesting, right? You can see those wicks on the bottom side of the weekly candles, but I don't know. I don't know if I like it in this market that I'm seeing today, right? I'm not sure I'm willing to go long on a stock on a stock with the market moving the market moving lower like it is right now. Someone say Jim. Chris. So I don't know. I'm watching this 315. Yeah, I'd be worried about that Dow rejection. I absolutely agree with you there, Blake. Yeah, I'm not so fond of Home Depot after seeing this reaction today. So I'm gonna go past it. But if you see at any point the Dow Jones find any type of strength, right, I do not mind this hold on Home Depot around this 316. Costco is pretty much the same thought process, right? It's just sitting here at this 450. You need some kind of strong market, though, before you can even try to attempt that. Boeing. Yeah, Boeing's wild, man. I'm very pleased with. So I bought Boeing shares after their investor day. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think it was back in November. Boeing had an investor day and said that they expect to be cash flow positive. And ever since that investor day, Boeing has done nothing but go up. And it was sort of like a knee-jerk reaction. I was like, okay, I think this is a good time to start dipping my toes into some Boeing shares. So far, so good. So far, nice upside. Boeing, since that investor day, has gone nothing but up. I'm not sure the exact day that investor day was. I can actually look that up just for Boeing investor day. What day was that? That was on, I think that was on 10/26. Yeah, it was on 10/26. It was right around, oh no, that was their earnings. Sorry, that 11/2. Is it 11/2? Does anyone remember? Investor Day, 11/2. Yep. 11/2 was Investor Day, okay? So 11/2, that's November 2nd. So this is November 2nd right here. Right? Ever since that Investor Day on Boeing, it has done nothing but go up. Since Investor Day, it is up, what is it up? It's up 38%. So pretty crazy. Maybe, yeah, maybe, chef. You know, I've tried to short Boeing a few times, and it's just doesn't seem to be the right one to look for, right? I mean, Boeing is very heavily backed by the government. It will always be, and I don't blame them to be, because if we don't have Boeing, we are in some very big trouble. I mean, we do have Airbus, we do have the Brazilian company. What is it? Embraer. So, I mean, there are other air manufacturers, but the only U.S. Plane manufacturer, Boeing, I don't think Boeing's going to go anywhere. And I don't know if that's helping it. I don't know if that's a reason not to short it. I mean, there's obviously technical downside, you can play. But in the short term, guys, this just looks too strong. I've given up shorting Boeing, right? After the 190, I'll show you where I just sort of said, okay, that's it. I'm not touching it anymore. After this breakout here, I just said, okay, no more, right? No more trying to short Boeing. It's just not, it's not losing it. So I would stay away from trying to short Boeing, guys. I don't see the weakness that's coming in with the market. All I see is strength. I see outperformance, and I think you stay away from something like that. If you want to look for longs, then maybe look for a pullback to 190, right? Maybe look for a 190 pullback for a long, but as of right now, I don't think I would be getting behind a short on Boeing. It's pretty much like stepping in front of a moving train. Gambler channel. Why so many people lose money? Okay. See you later, Ed. Have a great day. First and last time I'll see you here. I needed something. All right. Thanks. Thank you, Ed. Ed woke me up a little bit. I needed a little bit of juice from Ed. I appreciate you, Ed. Appreciate that comment. You got my juices flowing again. Boeing, yeah, 190. I'd look for a pullback. All right. I think that's about it. So let's really quickly re-look at those top setups that I'm watching today. First of all, I love this Nvidia setup. I love it. I would watch this. I would watch this on Nvidia 149, right? I would watch that. That looks nice. I would watch Tesla at 114, right? Right here. This looks fantastic. I would say that. I would watch the Apple rejection at the 128, right? That looks fantastic as well. And what was the last one? Oh, Amazon 87. That's what I would watch as well. So those are my top four today. Amazon 87, Apple 128, Nvidia 149, 150, and then Tesla to reject this 114, 115 area. Okay, that is what I would be watching, guys. Let's jump into the tickers that you guys want to look at. If you guys could take 1 second, press that like button. We had about 1,600 people in here, so thank you guys for being here. And it seems like we're growing a little bit, so I appreciate that. Thanks for being here, guys. If you enjoyed today's stream, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. While I have you, I am playing with the idea of doing after hours live streams, late night, like 6, 7 o'clock. That is very rudimentary or very early on thought. It's something I'm going to have to see how it fits into my schedule. I don't really want to be sitting here every single night at 6, 7 o'clock. So we'll see. It might be on like a short-term notice basis. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Like last night, I was chilling. I was just sort of relaxing. And with the Discord, we jumped on a live stream at night. It was fun. It was cool. It was chill, bullshit a little bit, talk. Less people, which is nice. If there's more, it's more, if it's a little bit more selective, I can actually read your comments. So something I'm thinking about, but I'm not so sure I can stick to a very strict schedule on that. That's the only problem I have. Because there's obviously going to be nights where I'm going out to dinner or going out, doing stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. But I would like to do it. I really would. On the nights that I'm just sort of chilling and don't have much to do. It's better than watching Netflix or something. I'd rather be on the charts. All right. Disney, Cat, CVX, Baba. We already did Boeing, Google. We didn't do Google. Google, Dow. Okay, here we go. Speed round. Better pay attention. Disney. Yeah, Disney 92. We talked about this one yesterday. I'd look for it. I would absolutely look for it. Look at what it's already doing. So absolutely. Disney 92, rejection play. Love it. I would watch it. Stop over the 90. Put it stop over this wick high. 92.70, 93. I like it. Cat. Yeah, Cat's just stuck at 240. You need to see something die off here before you can short Cat. You got to see something die off here. But yeah, Cat's very interesting there at 240. CVX stuck in a channel. The energy sector stuck in a channel. I don't like it. Same with XOM. Same with XLE. They're all just stuck in this channel. XLE's trying to hold this 83 level, so you could try to watch to see if it holds that 83. If XLE holds this 83, then maybe you can get a little bit of a push on the energy sector, but I don't really like it's just a little bit choppy there. BABA, yeah, huge push on BABA. I mean, if you want to be the person that chases this, be my guest. If you want to continue to chase BABA here, be my guest. I will never recommend doing that. I will not tell you to do so. The only way I look for BABA is a pullback to 95. The only way I look for an entry on BABA. Will not chase BABA. There's just absolutely no reason. AMD, yeah, that AMD is really stuck in a channel. But if AMD can turn this 865 into a clear rejection, and if we can lose 64, then you have some room, right? If you can lose 64 here, then I think you have room back to the 62s right here and right here. So you need to lose 64 though, right? You need to lose 64. Google, let's see. Google, again, another one that's just totally choppy, total chop fest. I would say I would not look at Google here. I mean, probably support steps in around this 87, 89. Yeah, it's way too choppy, guys. Look at Google over the last 2 weeks. It's completely sideways. I wouldn't get involved. Dow, DOW. Watch for the rejections at 53. 53 rejection on DOW. BLK, nothing. It has earnings coming up, I think, as well, but totally nothing. I don't see anything there. AT&T. I would not trade AT&T with options. That's my recommendation. I would look for a rejection of this 1950 area, but I would not trade AT&T with options. Maybe you can short it with shares if you want, but you need to see this 1940 rejection come in. All right. If you guys could press the like button, that would be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, if you did enjoy the live stream today, that would be awesome as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for always attending the live streams. Hood, yeah, okay, that's the SPY is the same as the ES. Look at the ES analysis that I talked about this morning after the live stream ends. Same exact thing. The exact same thing. Every level is the act. If you look at the SPY and you can't recognize the channel, then you need to recognize the channel, right? The channel on the SPY, the ES and the ES. This is the ES and the SPY, like this. This is what it looks like, just like that. Okay. ES and SPY are completely sideways, and they're the exact same charts. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.